Pooja Bhatt Productions and Mahesh Bhatt presents Zakhm. Namaste, I'm Grishma and I welcome you to the IndiCineGlitz channel. This heart-touching movie is set in the 90s when communal violence broke out in India following the demolition of the Babri Masjid in the city of Ayodhya in 1992, affecting the entire nation. Meanwhile, Ajay Desai, a well-known singer living in the city of Mumbai, is tired from working all night and is worried by the news of riots and violence in the city. Ajay's wife Sonia is pregnant and wants to raise their child in an environment where there are no barriers of religion and caste. She wants to leave India and settle in England, but Ajay refuses to leave his homeland and tries to persuade Sonia to stay back. But Sonia is firm on her decision and has decided to go to England alone. In the next scene, we see a radical leader named Subodh Malgaonkar who wants to make the ongoing violence in the country a political issue to further his agenda of ethnic cleansing, for which he is provoking the youth of the Hindu religion so that riots can flare up further. One of them is Ajay's younger brother Anand, who is an activist of Subodh's party and a staunch supporter of his ideology. One day, amidst the riots, Ajay's mother leaves home early in the morning to go to the temple but is nowhere to be found later. Ajay then leaves for the temple to find his mother. On the way, he witnesses the horrors of the city, as well as his friend Isa Bhai, who has been handed a letter threatening him to go to Pakistan or be killed. He is scared and wants to leave the city, but Ajay and his friend Guru Dayal Singh tell him to be patient and not to worry about it. Amid city curfew and arson, Ajay moves forward. He then learns from the police station there that a few hours ago, a radical Muslim group had doused an old woman with petrol and set her on fire, who has been taken to the hospital. Ajay rushes to the hospital and finds that the old woman is his own mother, who is now critical. Ajay is shocked to see his mother's dire condition. He calls Sonia to inform Anand to come to the hospital. At the hospital, Ajay meets a journalist named Anwar, who is covering the riots. Anwar tells him that his mother was brought before him in a terrible state. He then asks Ajay why his mother was praying to Allah when she belongs to the Hindu religion. Hearing that, Ajay now gets lost in his childhood on the day when his mother was waiting for his father, Raman Desai, who is a film producer. Ajay's mother and Raman love each other, but Raman's mother is against their relationship as Ajay's mother belongs to the Muslim community. So they both had to get married secretly, and now they have a son named Ajay. But Ajay and his mother live separately, away from Raman, as his relationship with them is termed illegal by society and Raman's mother, due to which they always have to face slander and humiliation. So that day, when Raman doesn't turn up even after a long time, Ajay calls at his home. But Raman's mother picks up the call instead and abuses Ajay. Hurt, little Ajay asks his mother why his father doesn't live with them and why his grandmother hates him so much. She then assures Ajay that one day his father will accept them and they will start living together. On the other hand, Raman is torn between his love and his mother's hatred. But despite all the odds, he loves his wife and son dearly and wants to legalize their relationship by bringing them home. Enraged by this, Raman's stubborn mother tries to commit suicide, which forces Raman to agree to her wish to marry the girl of her choice. When little Ajay learns of his father's marriage, he immediately informs her, leaving her devastated. She tries to stay strong in front of her son, but is unable to hold back her tears. A commotion interrupts Ajay's chain of thoughts and he returns to the present. He then sees his enraged younger brother Anand in the hospital. Ajay tries to pacify him. Just then, one of Anand's party member arrives and gives him some news. Hearing which, Anand storms out with him. Sensing the trouble, Ajay follows him and reaches the place his brother was heading. There he finds that Anand's party member have grabbed the man who tried to burn his mother and they are beating him to death. Ajay tries to stop them and wants them not to take the law into their hands. Ajay frees the accused from them and hands him over to the Inspector Pawar, the police in charge there. Angered by this, Anand scolds Ajay and says that he may wish to become a noble and popular saint by doing such good deeds. But Anand will not spare those who tried to burn his mother. Anand now trusts his party members more than his brother and considers them his only sympathizer. Anand seeks the help of his leader Subodh. On one hand, Subodh promises Anand to help him take revenge not only on the accused but his entire community, and on the other hand, orders one of his henchmen, Inspector Yadav, a corrupt policeman, to keep the accused alive at any cost because he wants to turn it into a political issue in which the death of Anand's mother is very crucial, like the two targets in one arrow, as it will make it easier for him to achieve both his agenda of ethnic cleansing and increasing his political power. Meanwhile, Ajay's mother's condition is deteriorating. Ajay senses her death. He calls Sonia and his friends Isa Bhai and Gurudayal Singh to the hospital. Ajay wants to tell Sonia about his wounded past before she leaves for England, which he hasn't told anyone, neither to his brother Anand. He returns to the past when his mother was devastated by his father's marriage. He waits all night, but his mother doesn't come out of her room. When it dawns, little Ajay sees her crying over Raman's photo, which enrages him. He goes to Raman's studio and vandalizes it. He demands an explanation from Raman as to why he keeps on hurting his mother. Raman then pacifies him and promises to come home in the evening to surprise his mother. Ajay's mother is startled to see Raman at home in the evening. She wants to end her relationship with him and asks him to live his married life happily. Raman apologizes to her that he could not stand against his mother for her and his son. He asks her to never think about ending their relationship as he loves only her. The next morning, when Ajay doesn't find his father at home, he gets angry and quarrels with his mother. She then asks him to accept the harsh truth that his father is now married and belongs to someone else and not to them. But Ajay says that he will force Raman to accept them and marry her legally one day. But seeing his mother's suffering and humiliation from society, little Ajay has started to change. He is now realizing that the life he got is not a normal one, but like a bleeding wound that he will have to bear for the rest of his life. He has responsibilities that he should focus on instead of complaining. A few months later, Ajay's mother gives birth to Raman's second son. Ajay informs Raman by calling his house. Raman's mother gets angry and starts abusing Ajay's mother. But Raman has now lost his patience. He scolds his mother and says that he will do what he should have done long ago. He immediately leaves for the hospital to see his son, but meets with an accident on the way and dies in it. A grieving Ajay and his mother arrive at Raman's house to pay their last respect, but Raman's mother insults them and tries to kick them out. But Raman's wife, who knows about Ajay and his mother and sympathizes with them, stops Raman's mother and allows them to have a last glimpse of Raman. But this incident exposes the truth hidden from Ajay, that his mother belongs to the Muslim community, as she never revealed this to her son. Ajay had only seen his mother following his father's Hindu religion and worshipping their deities. She tells Ajay that there are some elements in society who suppress humanity by doing dirty politics of religion and discriminating among people by spreading hatred. Such anti-social elements create conflict between any two religions and tries to destabilize society. Their reason could be anything. Raman's mother is a victim of this mentality, which is why she was against their relationship, which ruined many lives. Ajay's mother admits that their hatred was stronger than her true love and it defeated her. She describes her identity as a wound on her children's life, which she wants to hide from her second son Anand so that he will not face humiliation like Ajay and her. But she wishes to meet Raman one day, which requires that she be buried as per Muslim customs so that she will go to Jannat to meet him. She takes a promise from Ajay that he will bury her after her death. That's why Anand is unaware of his mother's past and Ajay's silence. He only knows that he has been brought up by a Hindu widow mother who respects and worships all religions. Sonia realizes the true love of Ajay's parents, who remained together despite many difficulties. She cancels going to England and decides to stay in India with Ajay to raise their child. Just then, the doctor informs Ajay that his mother is no more. Enraged by his mother's death, Anand tries to kill the accused in a fit of rage and threatens him to eliminate his entire community. Ajay then finally reveals the truth to him that his mother belongs to the same community that he wants to eliminate. Subodh, who just arrived there, overhears their conversation. Now Ajay wants to fulfill his mother's last wish by burying her so that she will go to Jannat and meet Raman. But Subodh stops Ajay from doing so, citing that this will harm Anand's emerging image in politics and his party colleagues will be offended. Anand also supports Subodh and says that his mother's last rites should be performed as per Hindu rituals. But Ajay wants Subodh not to politicize his mother's death and says that nothing can stop him from fulfilling his mother's last wish. Seeing Ajay's stubbornness, Subodh calls a mob of his party members to the hospital and stops Ajay from taking his mother to the crematorium. But Ajay's friend and journalist Anwar manages to stop the mob and Ajay finds a way out. But now, Subodh and Anand stand in their way. Anand urges Ajay to listen to Subodh and do as he says, but Ajay tells him that motherhood has no religion and asks him to fulfill their mother's last wish together. But then Inspector Yadav comes and stops Ajay from going to the crematorium, saying that the city is burning and taking this corpse outside may worsen the situation. Inspector Pawar then stands up to Yadav and says that it's not the corpse but his mother, and Ajay has every right to fulfill his mother's last wish according to the Constitution of India. But Subodh loses patience with Inspector Pawar and is bent on beating him. But in the meantime, Ajay, who was carrying his mother's body, gets a jolt, causing the body to fall down, saved by Anand. Seeing the disrespect done by Subodh to his mother, Anand gets enraged and starts beating up Subodh. By then, more police force reaches there to control the situation and arrest the rioters. Ajay is now taking his mother to the crematorium with Anand under police protection. Ajay buries his mother and visions that his parents are finally reunited in heaven. Nothing can separate them now. In the final scene of the movie, we see Ajay offering his mother's Mangal Sutra into the sea as a sign of ending her mortal suffering and weeping in her memory.
So this was our favorite movie of the day. If this movie is streaming in your country, then I'm sure you will definitely watch it. Do tell us your opinion in the comment section and don't forget to like, share and subscribe our channel. Take care.